Hello and welcome to this AMA Ask Me Anything video. I am getting to the end of the questions that people have been sending me. So if you are taking your business online and you would like me to answer some of your questions, you are subscribed to the AMA, then do send me your questions through. I would love to receive them. You can ask me techno questions. So if you are looking at doing something and you want some advice around the technology to use, or the technology that you're using isn't quite allowing you to do what you want to do, please do ask me questions about that. You can also ask me questions about strategy and structure. So what's the best way in which for you to take your business online, work smarter, not harder, all those kinds of things. You can ask me those types of questions. You can also ask me mindset questions as well. So overcoming fear, stepping out of your comfort zone, what's holding you back, procrastination, all those kinds of things. You can ask me questions about that as well. So what is currently holding you back from the next steps in your business? And ask me your questions. I would love to receive them. If you're not signed up to the AMA, there will be a link both at the end of the video and also in the description down below so that you can subscribe to my AMA, because anybody who is subscribed can send me their questions. Okay, let's get into this video then. Today, I want to talk about low number events because it's really disappointing. And in my experience, there's loads of videos out there that look at this topic from a marketing point of view in terms of what else could you do to get people to your events. And I feel that in my experience that those videos miss the mark, because I've done it loads of times where I've run events and then a few people turn up. And for me, the marketing bit isn't really the message that I needed to hear. And also, secondly, I'm actually really good at marketing and I was doing loads of stuff. But doing more marketing just leads to more pressure and more burnout, not less. So I don't want to say to you, do more, because actually there's only one of you, there's only so much time, and it can get very, very disheartening and very sort of burnout-esque quite quickly. So how do I want to look at this if I'm not going to talk about that sort of marketing element to it? I'm going to talk to you about the reality of it. I'm going to share my screen and my little whiteboard. So we have person A over here, and we have person B over here. Now, these two people, both of them want to do a workshop. So it can be an online workshop. We're going to talk to people who are going through the grieving process. So we're going to have our audience as being people who are experiencing grief. In terms of the event, we want 10 people to sign up. That's our aim. And it's going to be a 2-hour webinar style event. Okay, so what is the difference then? I'm going to draw some people. Let's have some fun with this. I'm not going to go into clothes. These can be men or women. So we have 2 people. Let's have a look at what differentiates these 2 people and why it's important. So this person is new to the industry in some way. Now, they might be a trained health profession in one field, but they've just trained in another field. So the audience that they're now going out to is different. So say that they are they were a coach, and now they've just had grief training, specific course on grief, and they want to specifically go out and talk to people about grief. But previous to that, they were going out to mums, those sorts of things. So they're either new to the grief work, or they're new to, they might have literally just done their training and just been newly qualified as a coach and want to kind of do an event on grief or something like that. So they're new to it. Okay. This person, on the other hand, person B, let's say that they have had 10 years in the industry. Okay, so that is person B. So depending on where you are in your business depends on whether you identify as person A or person B. There is definitely a road between A and B. Let's do it as a bridge. a very rudimental bridge. So what I have found is that the people at A, this person just here, will do an absolute ton of marketing because the audience don't know them. So you'll usually find that these people are the kind of people that struggle in terms of getting those numbers, those bums on seats to an event, to a webinar, to whatever it is that they want to do. And they will do a ton of marketing. So they will put a lot of effort in. They will put loads of different sort of strategies, talk to loads of people about it, and they will still only get a few people. And that can be so disheartening and feel like, what's the point? And I was certainly in person A mode or bracket for many years with Refresh Minds, and feeling like, what's the point? And feeling like you just can't do anymore. The difference with person B is that because they have had 10 years experience in that particular market, what you'll tend to find will happen over that time is they have had they will have a reputation within that particular field, in terms of people and suffering from grief. They will potentially have a list of people who they have been talking to, or that has shown some kind of interest in their work. Potentially they have been doing the kind of marketing stuff. So whether that be blogs, or whether that be talks or articles or videos, whatever it is, they've been doing that for 10 years. So, and the other one is SEO. So SEO takes time to build in terms of your website. So they've had 10 years building that SEO on their website. They've had 10 years of putting all that content out there to those people. They have a list of people who have shown interest, or that as part of their network, and they have a very good reputation within the world of grief. So chances are person B is going to send a few emails. They will send an email to their list of people who are interested. They'll put a couple of posts on their social media. They might do an article about it, or do a particular advert or something like that. And they will get more than 10 people signed up, in terms of, they might then start saying, oh, well, actually, I'll run 2 sessions because there's more people than what I need. So the challenge that I had was, for many years, I would be person A. I'd put loads of marketing into something, get 2 people signed up, and then feel like it was me who was the problem, that I didn't understand marketing, or I wasn't doing enough. And that actually isn't the answer. It isn't true. There is, as I said, a bridge, a pathway, a road between getting from A to B, and that requires time, and it requires consistent effort, and it requires consistency in all of these types of things. And that's a very different mindset. So what do you do if you're person A and you have literally had 2 people sign up to your event? So somebody at a marketing event once told me, they said, if you were a farmer and you went to a field, you had 100 cows and only 2 cows turned up to be fed, would you feed the 2 cows? And that really struck a chord with me, because would you refuse to feed the 2 cows because the 98 hadn't shown up? No, you'd feed the 2 cows. So it really kind of changed the way that I saw these events, and said, I need to show up and I need to do these. I've run events with 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. I guess the decision is, we need to look at structure. And this is why I wrote Build It Brilliant Blueprint, the book, because we need to make sure that the things that you are doing are not costing you a load of money and a load of time, because you're going to have to keep doing them over and over and over again in order to build that reputation, and build what it is that you're doing and who it is that you're doing it for. So if you haven't already, go and buy a copy of the Build It Brilliant Blueprint book. I go into the structure, and I also go into conversion rates in much more detail. And that is often what the challenge is you're just not going out to enough people to get the conversion rates that you need in order to get the people that you want. There's this idea, I think, when you start off, when you're naive and don't understand, that you sort of put something out on Facebook and go, well, I've put it out on Facebook. It's like, you've put one post out on Facebook, and that just isn't enough. So go and have a look at the book if you're struggling with this and you want some more ideas with that. Keep it simple to start off with. And there is always a judgment in terms of cost. So what is the event costing you? And therefore, what is your minimum numbers to cover that cost? But at the beginning, you are going to have to put in a hell of a lot of effort for very, very minimum numbers. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing something wrong. I think there is another element about mindset blocks with this. And I certainly had them and didn't put myself out there enough. I was scared of my message. I was scared of chatting to people, thinking that people would have an opinion or shout me down or not agree with me and those sorts of things. So perhaps it is a mindset piece that you want to look at in terms of getting yourself out there enough to convert enough people to your particular events. Or perhaps you're just giving yourself way too much pressure in terms of the marketing elements that you're doing. And you are doing enough, you're just not at person B. So you haven't been doing it long enough. So I hope that video has helped you with something practical and implementable and real that you can take away so that you can feel better about the events that you're running. The other thing in the blueprint is step 4 of the blueprint is all about this sitting and analyzing and looking at what you're doing. So please don't do what I did and throw away a really good event because just not enough people turn up. Sometimes it's just about tweaking. You might want to do it again and change the title, or you might want to do it again and try a different audience or try a different market. Sometimes I sort of threw the baby out with the bathwater, so the saying goes. I threw away some really, really good events just because I couldn't get the numbers. And the reason that I couldn't get the numbers is I just needed to tweak it. I didn't need to throw out the whole thing. So it could be a mindset thing that's holding you back. It could be that you're just not going out to enough people. It could be that you just want to tweak the event a little bit, or it could be just patience and time. So those are the reasons why you might get low numbers. And I hope you've enjoyed this video.